So do you remember the petrol tank from the last video? Here it is in all its glory. I've done a lot of derusting. I've pretty much done almost all of it. It's not finished derusting yet, but what I want to do is I want to start filling the holes. So in today's video, we're going to start patching the holes, which is the first stage, well, the second or third stage of restoring this tank. Now, there's many, many holes in this tank, easily over 40. There's lots of cracks, chips, and it just overall needs a lot of repair. So I bought something in the shop, and it's called Big Boy. Oh yeah, we all know Big Boy, don't we? Well, this Big Boy even comes with a heat protection filler, which I'm going to put on it. It is a powder coatable metal filler, high temperature resistant. So the plan is to fill up the holes on the tank, fill up any sawn down rust patches, leave that overnight maybe to fill up, to secure, get rid of a bit more rust in the morning, and then paint it. Yeah. The inside of the tank we haven't started yet. The plan is to fill that up with vinegar, which I might do tonight. I might put some vinegar in the tank tonight. I've had a look in the tank, I've used the torch. It's actually not rusty in the inside of the tank. It's actually really, really clean, which I'm really happy about. It's just the outside. So obviously the tank's leaked, a chip or something, and it's leaked. But the inside of the tank is absolutely immaculate almost. So I'm going to leave some vinegar in overnight to just clean it, the last little bits. And hope for the best. So, let's use a bit of the Big Boy. And I don't know what I'm going to be doing. When using chemicals, you're going to want to be in a well-ventilated area. And coincidentally, I just happen to have something to my hands called the outside. So, we're outside at the moment. There is holes, I'm going to show you real quick. There. That's just one little bit of the holes. There's quite a few holes. Now, I did watch a video a few days ago on this product when I bought it. Now, it seems I open it up, I mix the high temperature thing in, and you got this coat spreadable thing, and yeah, but I don't want to waste the high temperature filler, because you can take this off. The temperature is in a little tube, and I don't want to waste it because I'm going to be needing it a lot more, but in some places, maybe on this car, I might not need to use high temperature. Do I need to use high temperature on a tank? Probably not really, but I do know that the exhaust goes over this tank, as in when it's up, the exhaust goes under. That's why I'm choosing to use it. So, the plan is to fill up these holes. This is a tin of the metal filler. I don't even know what to do, and it came with this scraper as well. So, I'm going to open this now. We'll have a look in it together first time, because I don't know what I'm doing. I say that with such confidence. Seesawing it along the gap to release the top. Quite a lot knot in here, as you can see, which is fair enough. So I guess we should just pour the whole thing in. I wasn't going to do it all at once, and then I thought, well, if the tin's not actually as full as I thought, I was going to put it in a separate area and then use it, but I thought, well, why not? Let's just fill it up, and as you can see, on camera, there is lots of holes there, and I've got the little spatula thing, so what I'm just going to do is I'm just going to get a little bit, and I'm going to try and patch up the holes. Now, when I did wood filler, I did cover the other side, and even just starting this now makes me think I should probably cover the other side. I just have nothing to cover it with. What I've done is I've taken out the fuel pump, as you can see, and the plan for taking it out is, well, I can have access to the tank easier, and I can block off the holes on the other side, so therefore the metal filler can, well, stay in position and harden up, and then I can take off the other side and I can do it from the inside. Oh, even clever. When working on your own vehicle, you can sometimes come across things you didn't expect and often end up to some costly mistakes. And when you're a rookie like me, you might actually come across some. So I was using that metal filler called Big Boy, and I've actually just come back from a drive because I've had to buy another tin of it here, because that in the top, what I originally thought was the thing that will make it withstand over 200 degrees centigrade, that was actually the hardener. So I hardened the whole thing straight away, which is stupid. Okay, so I've now read the tint and we're going to do this properly. Just one of those stupid mistakes that can end up costly. You know, this isn't cheap stuff. £6.98. It's not that cheap, but hopefully we can get this done properly now. So I've patched up what I can for now. There is still like little holes coming through it, which is fair enough. So what I'm doing is I'm leaving that overnight to harden because it's not as hard as I want it to be yet. I'd love to carry it more on, but I have work tonight. So what I've done is I've filled up, I've used my white distilled vinegar I use for cleaning, and then I've used just some white wine vinegar I also have. And these have gone in the petrol tank because the petrol tank is almost immaculate on the inside. There is a couple of little rust spots, so that's why I put these lots of vinegar in there. That should hopefully clear it up overnight. Tomorrow morning, I want to fill up the last bits of the holes on the I want to do it from the inside as well. Yeah, I want to double up. And then there's the house phone ringing. Nice. And then hopefully paint it. So I shall see you in a second, which will be tomorrow for you. Hello and good morning. I was just checking out the comments on yesterday's video, part 1 of this petrol tank restoration, and a lot of people saying get a new tank, and whereas I do respect getting a new tank, there was a couple of comments I absolutely loved, one even pointing out this is a project car. Also, the product that I'm using, Big Boy Metal Filler, definitely have a look at it. Silverhook, this isn't sponsored at all, but Silverhook have a poorly done video on YouTube about it, and it's actually really good. So, also, someone said about there being loads of rust inside the tank. There wasn't. Nothing. Like, there was probably less than 5%. So, what I'm going to do is I'm now going to go downstairs. I'm going to check the vinegar. We're going to pull the vinegar out. We're going to have a look at the tank, and then I'll show you what we'll do next. Alrighty ho, let's see what it's done. As you can see, there's lots of bits floating. You see that white patch there? Well, that's been stripped up. There was actually rust on there. The tank is looking pretty good on the inside. Actually, I think it's looking really good on the inside. So this is what the vinegar stripped out last night. Oh, how beautiful. Nice to know that that was sitting at the bottom of the tank. Now it's time to check how the... that's really good. That's really good, actually. That's really good. I'm going to show you what I'm going to do, because I have an idea. We need to sand it down a little bit, because I want to make it flush, and also I'm going to paint it. I'm going to sand it down, and then I'm going to see what holes are actually there still, because if I've missed anything, then I'm going to fill those up, because I want this to look nice. And then I'm going to fill them up on the inside, so doubling up. I did have a look at maybe getting some metal strength tape or anything, but I was just being a bit cautious. I don't want to not overdo it, but well, that's the inside of the tank. It's the inside of a petrol tank. If anything goes wrong, yeah, exactly. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to sand it down a bit, make sure it's all okay, and then yeah, hope for the best. As I said earlier, I failed with the first pot of the big boy stuff I used. So, yeah, a lot of it didn't have the correct like hardening material, so I know that a lot of this on the side wouldn't, hence why I was sanding it down as well, and a lot of it was falling off. But it's starting to actually, you can see down here, it's starting to take shape. It's going smooth now, it's filling up the gaps, but I'm not done yet because I'm going to get more of the metal filler, and I'm just going to go over it because I want it, because it's there's a lot of rust bumps, so I'm going to fill up the rust bumps, sand it down one more time, and then it should be ready to paint. So what I've done is I sanded it down. I've put a new coat on with more hardener and like proper and everything. I'm filling those up. I've left that. I've done a couple of coats of that in the sun, you know, leaving it in the sun so it dries. I'm using my fingers, which is probably not okay. And I'm filling up the holes on the inside. So even though they're patched, I'm double upping. I'm doing it on the inside just to be safe. You know, I'm still going to coat it and everything, and I'm going to clean the inside and this and that. Clean the inside more than what I did last night, yeah. Just so it's a tank, and then I'm even going to fill it with water to see if it leaks, because I want to see if it's going to do it, you know. I want to see if I've actually done a good job. I've also overdone it, by the way. So, like for instance, around here, you can see I've used lots of metal fill around here. I don't need it around there at all, but that's looks like a joint section, so I thought, well, or a bend or anything, so I'm putting them where there's possible chances of future damage. So again, future-proofing it. I just want to make sure this whole thing's safe. So the tank is going to sit in the sun for a little bit to try and harden up another layer, you know, filling up the last little bits, but also put some on the inside. So the plan is one of the rust removal techniques, and I think is also a good technique to test, is you fill the petrol tank up with bolts and hot water, and you slosh that about to see rust removal. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to do that to see if it causes any holes, because as far as I'm aware, I've looked in the tank, I can't see any bits of light coming through, therefore as far as I'm aware there are no holes. So what we want to do is we want to put it through a stress test, obviously. We want to see if any holes are going to appear. Of course, I'm going to sand it down first, because I need to sand it down, because when I paint it, I want it to look good. So I'm going to, after it's been in the sun for a little bit longer, I'm going to sand it down, and then fill up with bolts and a bit of hot water, slosh it about. If nothing comes of it, empty that out, fill the tank up to the brim, because, you know, it's a petrol tank. See how well that holds, and if no leaks are occurring, then absolutely perfect. We have a petrol tank which is kind of ish fixed. Kind of ish. Well, it's metal fill. I've been looking at the thing of it. I've literally just put it in the car here. You see, I've just stuck in the side there, but it's for industrial use as well, so it should work pretty well. Okay, sanded down. I've had a look inside because, well, I think the best thing to do is to look inside, see if you can see any light come through, and guess what? I can't. So what I've got here is, I've got a bag of 100 bolts. I need to use some of them anyway. We're going to be using all of them in this case. We've also got a bucket here full of hot water, and we're going to be pouring this straight into the tank, filling the tank up with bolts, shimmering it about. Make sure no leaks come loose or anything like that. Hopefully it will all be okay. Also, the bolts are there to break off any last bits of excess rust. And then, if that all goes to plan, then we'll fill up with water. If that can hold, then it's time to paint. Well, that water was clear as day when I put it in, and it's come out a disgusting colour, really. Actually, as far as I'm aware, no leaks. Not that I've seen. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to fish out the last of the bolts, because there's quite a few bolts still in there. I'm going to fill the tank up with water, just leave it on the side for a bit, because if, say I'm driving and I've got a tank full of petrol, there I might not be driving it for a few days. So I'm just going to leave it there, not for a few days, but just for a little bit, to see if it holds, to see if it pierces anything, and if it don't, then all good. The tank is full of water, and pouring it in I spilled quite a lot, to be honest. Not gonna lie, you can see the ground is a bit wet. That's from me spilling it. So the plan is to leave out in the sun, the basking sun, for a bit, so it can dry up the sides. I've already used the towel, like dried up a little bit, because I want to see any possible leaks. That's the aim. I want to know if there's going to be any leaks at all, and if not, then we're going to go for a paint and do up even. I might look online, see if there's anything I can get to protect the inside a bit more. Not 100% yet, seeing how it goes at the moment, but so far so good. But if you do want to see the painting stage, then you're probably going to have to come back for tomorrow's video. I don't know if I'll be painting tomorrow. I'd like to be painting tomorrow. I don't know if I'll be able to get the video up tomorrow. I would like to get the video up tomorrow, so we're going to say tomorrow at 8 PM, because then it pushes me to motivation. See, I'm recording with my phone at the moment, and my phone's on about 10%. So I'm going to end this video here. This is part 2 of the fuel tank restoration mini-series in between the carb rebuild series. So thank you for watching this. If you're interested in the product I used on the metal filler, it's an industrial one. It's called Big Boy. That's the brand, by Silverhook. Metal filler, 200. It can go up to 200 degrees centigrade, and I got it at a tool station at £6.98. And it seems to be a really good product. It's for industrial use. It can be used on wheels. It can be used on like beams and things. So it's a really good product, and I've used it on my petroleum tank. So thank you for watching, and I shall see you guys all in the next video. Adios, my Miss Amigos. Enjoy the sun, because it is blue sky out today, and I'm gonna go and get this video edited. Adios. Bye.